Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and a happy Patriots Day, one and all. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the visiting Boston Latin School Wolfpack and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. It's a beautiful day for baseball here on Marathon Monday, as of course, just nearby here in this Eastern Mass area, the 2025 Boston Marathon is being run through the city. But for us Brookline fans, today is a day for baseball. And we should have a fun one here today between the Warriors and the Wolfpack. These two teams, pretty typical opponents during this spring break week. They faced off on Patriots Day last year and put in a thriller for us. Coming down to the wire, Brookline ultimately winning the game on a go-ahead RBI single by Owen Hoffman in the bottom of the 6th inning to defeat Boston Latin 5-4 in a real nail-biter competition. So if this year is anything like last year, we're going to be in for a show. Brookline taking the field for the top of the 1st inning. And at this time, I'd like to thank our local sponsor for today, Esch Dental. Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. You can book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS baseball parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. That link and phone number can be found in the description section of this video down below. So on that note, let's take a look at our starting pitcher on the mound for Brookline today, number 17, Nikolai Rabiner. Rabiner has made 3 previous starting appearances so far this season, put in a pretty strong effort. A 1-1 win-loss record, 12 2/3 innings pitched, so averaging a little over 4 innings per outing. A team-leading ERA of 1.66. As you can see, that single asterisk next to it indicates a player leading the team in that statistical category. He's got a whip of 1.82 and 11 strikeouts. As he takes the hill here against the Wolfpack. We get ready to get started here in the top of the 1st inning. Leading off for the Wolfpack, the left fielder, number 5, King. First pitch of the game misses low and in for ball 1. I only got last names on the roster from Boston Latin, as King hits a bouncer up the first base line, gets past a diving first baseman and Adam Rosenblatt, chased down in right field by the right fielder Connor Fitzgerald, but his throw back to the infield cannot get there in time as King leads us off with a double up the first base line. An explosive start to the game from the Wolfpack left fielder, and wait! Did they overturn it? Did they call it a foul ball? Wait, no, he's... Where's he going? Is he going back to the plate or is he going back to the dugout? What is happening here? He's going back to the dugout. Is he out? He must be out. What on earth happened there? as that pitch inside for ball one. It's a 1-1 count to the second baseman, number 4, Villar. As that one skips low for ball two. So yeah, I have no idea what happened there. I'm going to have to ask somebody between innings or something. Maybe they caught Kings stepping off the bag. Maybe some trickery from the Brookline middle infielders as that one is fouled off. Villar gets jammed inside. Full count here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Rabiner gets his first K of the day. Now batting, the right fielder, number 2, Gomez. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. And now a meeting between Rabiner and the home plate umpire as they're checking on the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom, making sure he's okay after a hard skip in the dirt off that pitch. That pitch high for ball 2. And this one lifted out to left field, and that is going to drop in fair, juggled out and left, but Gomez is going to be held to a single. A 2-out single for Gomez. And now up comes someone I do have the full name for on this Boston Latin roster because he played in the game last year, and that is the Wolfpack pitcher for today, number 24, Charlie Hauk. First pitch high and in for ball 1. Hauk last year at the plate went 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI as he fouls that one to the backstop for strike 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. 1-2 the count to Hauk here with Gomez at first, 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Gomez takes off, and Hauk reaches out, hits one, caught in the air by Hugh Bollinger at second base. And that will end the top of the first. Some nice hops for the grab from the Brookline second baseman. And now as we're between the first, we're in the middle of the first inning. Let's properly go through these lineups. We'll start with the team we just saw, the Boston Latin Wolfpack. As we saw leading off for Boston Latin today, the left fielder, number 5, King. Batting second, the second baseman, number 4, Villar. Batting third, the right fielder, number 2, Gomez. Batting cleanup, the pitcher, number 24, Charlie Hauk. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 14, Aquija. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 9, Evans. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 6, Kluwer. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 10, Findlin. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 7, Cole Hale. Just playing the field for Boston Latin today, the shortstop, number 3, Amos Bergen. Now really quick, the starting lineup for Brookline today. Leading off, the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Batting second, the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Batting third, the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Batting 7th, the designated hitter, number 24, Lincoln Hafner. Batting 8th, the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. And batting 9th, the third baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman. And as we saw in the top half of the inning, not in the batting order today, but starting on the mound for Brookline, number 17, Nikolai Rabiner. So here we go with Brookline's first turn at the plate. And leading off for the Warriors will be the center fielder and co-captain number 9, Elias Brendel. You can see Brendel's season stats there. He comes in with a batting average of 167, a team-leading on-base percentage of 464, a team-leading slugging percentage of 333, the only player on the team so far with a triple this season, a team-leading 10 walks, 1 stolen base, 5 runs scored, and 2 RBI. A pretty loaded stat sheet for Brendel, who did play against Boston Latin last year. Last year he went 0 for 3 at the plate with a walk, a steal, and a run scored as he takes strike 1 from the first pitch from Houck. Charlie Houck is in the game last year against Brookline as Brendel fouls this one off for strike 2. Houck last year pitched 5+ innings against Brookline, gave up 5 runs, 4 of them earned on 11 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Brendel hits a bouncer over to second, fielded clean, and thrown to first for out number 1. Brendel kind of reaching out, swinging defensively on that off-speed pitch there, and couldn't get the strongest contact. Fielded at second by Villar and thrown to Evans at first for the first out. Now batting for Brookline, the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, and he hits one through the left gap into left field. Hugh Bollinger with a 1-out single. Bollinger off to a good start on the day. Last year against the Wolfpack, he went 1 for 3 with a steal, a run, and an RBI. Now batting for Brookline, the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom, as Hom takes strike 1 to start. Hom so far this season, a slash line of 174, 321, 261. Tied for the team lead in doubles with 2 and 2 RBI. And no runs scored because as the catcher, he gets a courtesy runner whenever he gets on base. Pickoff move, and they got Bollinger, and now he's in a pickle, being chased by Evans, throw to second, and the tag is applied as Bollinger gets caught. Got to be careful against a lefty pitcher, and Houck displays exactly why right there with a nice pickoff move at first to get the second out of the inning. I think that one was in the zone for strike 2. Hom hits a hard one through the right gap, and that'll be a 2-out single for Felix Hom. So Brookline getting a good bat on the ball so far, but 2 down now as, like I said before, we get a courtesy runner for the catcher. And running for him is going to be number 5, Devin Chin. Coming to the plate now, the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. DiPaolo coming into this one with a slash line of 250, 357, 250. Leads the team in runs scored with 6 so far this season. Pickoff throw, Chin dives back. Devin Chin, certainly one to keep an eye on the base paths, as he's got speed. DePaulo, the first player coming to the box for Brookline who did not hit in last year's game against the Wolfpack. He made a brief pitching appearance, pitched just 1/3 of an inning out of the bullpen, but no plate appearances against Boston Latin last year, as we get another pickoff attempt, and Chin getting back safe once again, as he read that one well, wasn't taking that aggressive of a lead in that moment. DePaulo hits a bouncer, chased down by the shortstop, throw to first, beats him out by half a step, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So Brookline gets 2 base hits, but a slick pickoff move and some solid pitching from Charlie Houck prevent the threat there. And at the end of 1, our score is a very simple 0-0. And we got some notes in the live chat. First from Alan Rosenblatt, saying, "Go Brookline," from Ellen and Alan Rosenblatt, Adam Rosenblatt's grandparents in Lenox, Massachusetts. And then we got Alfred Rabiner saying, "Go Nikolai," watching from Israel, grandparents Emma, Fred, and your brother Alec and Dad. And then Julie Diagostini saying, "Go Brookline and the Hoffman brothers." And "Hi, Grandma in Groton, New York," from Aunt Julie in Wisconsin. I love that. I love getting to hear about people tuning in from all over. We got different parts of Massachusetts, we got different states, and we even got different countries today. I'm loving it, loving the enthusiasm, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the game. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for the Wolfpack here on the top of the second, starting with the designated hitter, number 14, Aquija. Fastball from Rabiner is fouled off by Aquija, strike 1. Slight cut on that pitch, and Aquija fooled by the change in speed for strike 2. And that one fouled to the backstop. Remains 0-2. And this one lifted foul up the left field line. Rabiner with a subtle mix of speed and placement with his pitches so far. He sort of seems to have switched back and forth between a fastball and a cut fastball back and forth these last 2 pitches, these last 4 pitches. And that one way high for ball 1. I wonder if he might work in a slower, more breaking ball, as he just goes back to the cut there, and it's fouled off. And another fastball hangs high on him for ball 2. Rabiner's got to get his throws back under control, as that one popped up. Might be playable, but won't be. That one flies out of play, and give credit to Aquija here. All these foul balls are keeping him alive, and it's the reason that he didn't just go down on 3 strikes, and instead has a 2-2 count. Oh, checks his swing on the low breaking ball there. And Aquija has battled his way to a full count. And he fouls off another one, refuses to go down. And you can see how a strong defensive approach to the plate can really work things out for you. But not that time, as Rabiner blows it by him for strike 3. That was one heck of a battle between pitcher and batter there, but that time the pitcher wins. Nikolai Rabiner with his second K of the day. And now up comes the first baseman, number 9, Evans. First pitch does drop into the high corner, strike 1. It looks like it was going to come in high, but I think he had just enough of a dip on it. Now Evans hits a bouncer over to second, and it's booted by Bollinger. Bounces off his arm there as Evans reaches on the E4. You know, in years past, Brookline has played their Patriots Day game at the turf field at Parsons Field over on Kent Street. And the one difference between turf and grass is you're going to get a lot more weird hops on grass, like we just saw at that play that Bollinger struggled with. And so it's more of a burden on the infield to make the plays correctly. Runner takes off, but the pitch fouled for strike 1. At the plate for Boston Latin is the third baseman, number 6, Kluwer. Evans at first with 1 down here in the top of the second. That one catches the low corner for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Kluwer. That one low for ball 2. Kluwer wasn't biting on the low fastball there. And he wasn't biting on the high one that time. A full count once again for Rabiner. He won the last battle. And this hard hit right at the third baseman. This could turn 2. And they couldn't grab it. Throw came in just a little low and could not be snagged by Rosenblatt at first, as Evans just barely gets back to the bag. So it'll be 2 down with the runner still at first. Now batting the catcher, number 10, Findlin. Evans taking off for second, and again it's fouled off. 0-2 now the count. Evans, the beneficiary of a couple of defensive hiccups by Brookline, as he stands at first with 2 down, tries to take off again, and that's a swing for strike 3. Ball skipped in the dirt, but well covered by Felix Hamm to easily throw down to first for out number 3. No score still, as we head to the bottom of the second. And for Brookline, it'll be their 5, 6, 7 hitters now. Rosenblatt, Eli Hoffman, and Hafner. And in the live chat, we've now got Grandma from Groton, New York, Mary Walker, in the live chat, saying also watching is the Hoffman boys' great-grandfather, watching in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we got the Hoffman fan club spread out between New York and Wisconsin. We got the Rabiner fan club out in Israel. We got the Rosenblatt fan club here in the Commonwealth, but over in Lenox. Like I said, I love hearing about all the different locations we get folks tuning in from. Just such, just a fun, fun little tidbits that, really help to show how widespread this community can be. And just add a little bit of extra fun here, because that's what we're all here for. We're all here for the fun. Hauk back on the mound for his second inning of work for the Wolfpack. Leading off here in the bottom of the second, the first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch misses, I believe, to the outside, ball one. Adam Rosenblatt so far this season 1 for 5 with a walk, a steal, a run, and an RBI. As that one just misses for ball 2. Rosenblatt last year against Boston Latin, he went 2 for 3 at the plate. As that one drops low for ball 3. One of those 2 hits last year for Rosenblatt actually put the go-ahead runner on the bases for Brookline in the bottom of the 6th. His pinch hitter, Ben Doctoroff, ultimately came in to score on that one on the go-ahead single from Owen Hoffman, as Rosenblatt here in this year's game leads off the second inning with a 4-pitch walk. Now batting, the left fielder, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Shows bunt, but pulls back and takes strike one. An interesting call. Rosenblatt isn't the speediest runner, and it seems a bit early in the game to be trying to get runners into scoring position off of sac plays. But they don't stick with the sac strategy there, as that pitch misses low and away for ball 1. The younger Hoffman so far this season, a slash line of 200, 360, 300, tied for the team lead in doubles with 2, leads the team in hit by pitches with 3, hits a grounder here, dodged by Rosenblatt, picked up by Villar and thrown to first for out number 1, as he does effectively lay down a sacrifice play, though it won't go down as one. He moves Rosenblatt into scoring position, as now coming up the designated hitter, number 24, Lincoln Hafner. Hafner's had a strong start to his senior season here, 5 for 13 with a double, 3 runs scored, and 3 RBI, as he takes a high ball 1 there. But of course, all 3 of those RBI came in his first game of the season against Natick. He's hoping he can get his first RBI in a little while here, possibly knock in Rosenblatt, but a quick pickoff move to second, and Rosenblatt barely dives back safe. A slick move by Hauk there, and that sends a message to the Brookline base runners. You can't take it easy even when you're in scoring position. That pitch misses outside, ball 2 to Hafner. And takes that one for strike 1. 2-1 the count, 1 down, runner at second. We are scoreless so far here in the bottom of the second. Hafner hits a bouncer, fielded at third, thrown to first, and they hold the runner, as that'll be out number 2. Now batting with 2 down and a runner at second, the right fielder. As, again, Rosenblatt forced to dive back to second on another pickoff move. As I was saying, the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald, at the plate for Brookline here. Takes the first one low for ball 1. Fitzgerald so far this season. 5 for 12, a double, a walk, 2 steals, 2 runs scored, tied for the team lead with 4 RBI as he takes strike 1 there. Tied with Bollinger for the team lead in RBI so far early in the season. As that one gets away from Findlin, and Rosenblatt advances down to third on what I believe will be scored as a passed ball. Two and one, the count to Fitzgerald. Takes a high ball 3. And that's going to be ball 4, as that one misses to the outside. Fitzgerald trots down to first with the free pass. And now a meeting at the mound after Houck dishes out his second walk of the inning. Coach just wants to settle him down, get him to throw strikes. You don't want to let this inning get away from you, not when you're so close to getting out of it. Now coming to the plate with runners at the corners and 2 down, the third baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. Hoffman, so far this season, a slash line of 176, 333, 176, with 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs, so not the highest batting average, but he's been productive for the Brookline offense so far this season as he takes a high ball 1. Of course, he was the hero of last year's game against the Wolfpack with that go-ahead RBI single in the bottom of the 6th that proved to be the winning run. As that one in the zone for strike 2. 1 and 2 the count, 2 down, runners at first and third. Hoffman hits one right back at Houck. What a snag by the Boston Latin pitcher there to escape the jam and keep us scoreless. At the end of 2, no score here at Warren Field. And during this break between the second and third inning, I'd like to take a moment to once again thank our sponsor for today, Esh Dental. Do you have a tooth that just doesn't look right in photos, too far out, too far back, or one that prevents you from showing that smile at all? The team at Esh Dental has everything you need to get that smile perfectly aligned. Their average Invisalign case lasts about 9 months, and the treatment is practically invisible compared to metal braces. Adults and teens alike get their teeth straightened and their bites aligned with Esh Dental. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. Link and phone number once again in the description section down below. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up this inning for the Wolfpack to face off against Rabiner. Leading off here for Boston Latin, the center fielder number 7, Cole Hale, lays down a bunt and it bounces foul. Tried to go for the sneaky, speedy strategy there to start off the top of the third. Cole Hale, the only other player in the starting batting order for Boston Latin who batted in last year's game, along with Charlie Houck as he takes strike 2 there. Last year against Brookline, Hale went 0 for 3 at the plate with a walk. takes that one in the dirt for ball one. Even when you're ahead in the count, you don't want to waste pitches. As that one drops low, good eye by Hale. 2-2 the count. And hits a bouncer there, chased down in the gap by Jimmy DePaulo. Long throw, just barely beats it. Cole Hale legs out the infield single to start us off here in the top of the third. We cycle back to the top of the order now for Boston Latin with the left fielder, number 5, King. Now, King had that weird incident last time he was up, hit what I thought was a double, but then all of a sudden he was out as he takes a high ball one there. I'm still not quite sure what happened, as I just missed it. That one does hit the zone for strike one. 1-1, the count to King. Fouls this one to the backstop, strike two. And he fouls that one off. Chased it a bit low. Stays alive at 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Looked like Rabiner threw a bit of a cutter there that just barely dropped into the high part of the zone. Forced King to kind of chase it, and he goes down on strikes. Now batting the second. Oh, we got a pickoff at first. They got Hale in a pickle now. Bollinger chasing him, flips it to Rosenblatt, heading back the other way, flips it back to second. Hale making it a long run back and forth as Bollinger cuts off that throw, gives chase back to second, and the tag is applied by the center fielder, Elias Brendel. That just shows how much of an effort Hale gave going back and forth on that one. Boy, that's like when we used to play the game pickle out on the street. A lengthy run down that time, but Brookline with good fundamentals to keep it going all the way through. And now a pop-up from Villar, and Jimmy DePaulo is under it for out number 3. So we got some more slick pickoff moves, but this time from Nikolai Rabiner, as doesn't exactly put Boston Latin down in order, but does put them down in just 3 hitters, thanks to the pickoff. We move to the bottom of the third. Still no score. Strong pitching so far. I mean, for Brookline, they've gotten 2 men on base each of the first 2 innings. But some strong pitching from Charlie Houck has gotten them out of the jam so far. And as he now prepares to face the Brookline order for the second time through, after the inning ended with the number 9 hitter in the second, we'll see how he handles his second trip through the order, as it'll be Brendel, Bollinger, and Hom coming up. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the third, the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. First pitch, and he skies it in the infield. Being called for and caught at third for out number 1. And if you're Houck, you got to love that. 1 pitch, 1 out. As Kluwer snagged that one easily. Now batting, the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, and he hits a slow bouncer foul up the third base side for strike 1. Bollinger, his last time up, he singled through the left gap, but got picked off between first and second. Chases that one low for strike 2. Houck working him off speed with the breaking ball there. Hits a shot through the right gap this time. Hugh Bollinger with his second hit of the day. And now that he's standing at first for the second time, he's got to be a lot more careful of the potential pickoff move from Houck so that he can stay on base and continue applying the pressure. Now batting the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Hom got a single through the right gap his last time up. And Bollinger running back to first even before Houck made the throw. Bollinger still taking a sizable lead off from first there. And another pickoff throw, and he races back. Bollinger's not backing down from the challenge from Houck. Gutsy approach on the base paths here. As Hom hits a bouncer over to second, flipped second for 1. Oh no, they dropped it! And Bollinger gets there! Everyone reaches on the fielding glitch there. As Bollinger gets to second on the E6. So Brookline gets a lucky break there. And now coming up with 2 on and 1 out is the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. I think the shortstop might have just been getting a little ahead of himself, was probably thinking about trying to turn 2 and end the inning before he had the ball in his glove. That one's going to drop low for ball 1. DiPaolo, his last time up, grounded out to short to end the first inning. Hits a hard bouncer over to short once again, sent to second for 1, on to first, not in time. DiPaolo will reach on the fielder's choice. And that does move Bollinger to third. And now, for the second inning in a row, Brookline has runners on the corners with 2 down. Up comes the first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. That one gonna miss for ball 1. Rosenblatt, his last time up, drew a walk to lead off the second inning, made it all the way to third, but was left stranded. Hits one, fouled off his own foot, so that's not in play. Or is it? What is it, because Rosenblatt ran it out? What's going on? They put both hands up. That's a signal for a foul ball. But I guess the inning's over. Maybe he didn't hit it off his foot and it just looked that way at first. Ah. Well, whatever it was, at the end of 3, still no score in this pitcher's duel between Brookline and Boston Latin. During this break between the 3rd and 4th innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High School students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those experiencing homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those struggling with homelessness warm during the colder months of the year, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. Brookline Cares then purchases those Empower coats from the Empowerment Plan and distributes them to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless. And you can help them to bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section of the video, you'll find a couple of links. One to the website classy.org, where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team to help support their efforts to purchase more Empower coats. Or if you're a student interested in joining them, you can find a link to the organization's own website on wixsite.com, where you can find out more about them, what they do, and how you can contact them. Once again, check those out in the description section down below. But for right now, we've got the start of the top of the 4th, and it's a 3-0 count to, and it's a walk to Gomez. 4-pitch walk to start the inning here. And now batting is the pitcher, Charlie Houck, as he drops a bunt up the third base side, and Hoffman juggles it. That one just popped out of his glove on the exchange. And Houck reaches on either a single or an E5. And just like that, Boston Latin quickly putting on some pressure here. They decide to lay down a bunt with their cleanup hitter, and it works out perfectly. Another bunt attempt. Pull back, I think that was called a ball, as again it was juggled by Brookline on the exchange. Brookline's got to be careful not to get too rushed by this aggressive small ball approach from the Wolfpack, because they're banking on Brookline to make those mistakes in the field. Shows bunt again, it's a pop-up, but it's foul. At the plate is the designated hitter, number 14, Aquija. Aquija, his last time up, went down on strikes after a long battle at the plate with Rabiner. But this time trying to lay down a sacrifice to try and move the runners. Shows it, fouls it off, and that'll be strike 2, and that'll put an end to the bunt strategy for the time being. Because if you foul off a bunt, then that's strike 3, that's a strikeout. Fouls off that one, stays alive at 1-2. We know Aquija can foul off a lot of pitches. That's what he did his last time at the plate. And that time he goes down swinging. Big first out get for Rabiner. Holds the runners at first and second. Now batting the first baseman, number 9, Evans. First pitch, high heat, ball 1. Evans, his last time up, reached on an E4. Fouls that one off, strike 1. That one just high, ball 2. Gomez at second, Houck at first. Fouled off, strike 2. They've still got Rosenblatt pulled up on the grass on first base, as we got a timeout called by Evans. And okay, that pitch doesn't count. It was still in the middle of the timeout. That actually works out for Brookline, as that would have been a low ball 3. But now ready to go. And he chased that one high for strike 3. Rabiner essentially got a practice pitch out of that faulty timing out of the timeout, and then he went in the exact opposite direction with the pitch that counted and caught Evans chasing. First pitch there in for strike 1, now batting the third baseman, number 6, Kluwer. Kluwer, his last time up, lined out to the third baseman. Takes a high ball 1 there. Rabiner with 2 back-to-back strikeouts, now 1 out away from escaping the jam here. But that's going to be a high ball 2 that time. First and second, 2 down here in the top of the 4th, no score. That one gets away. Hom tracks it down, throws down to third. Oh, they got the runner, but did they apply the tag? Yes! A stroke of luck for Brookline, as Rabiner's hard throwing gives them a hard ricochet off the backstop on the wild pitch. And as a result, Gomez caught stealing third on a nice throwdown by Felix Hom, with Owen Hoffman just barely applying the tag. Boy, what a wild defensive game we've had so far. A lot of really great defensive plays along the base paths by both teams throughout this day. We've seen some strong pickoff throws. We've seen, that big throwdown to third off a wild pitch that just ended the top of the 4th. It's been a wild game and a very well-pitched game by both Rabiner and Houck. As we go into the bottom of the 4th, still no score. It's going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters for Brookline. Eli, Hoffman, then Hafner and Fitzgerald. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 4th, the first baseman, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Takes ball 1 outside. Swing and a miss there. Strike 1. Eli Hoffman, his last time up, grounded out to second. Checks his swing there. Good watch for ball 2. And hits a bouncer foul up the first base side. Strike 2. And Hoffman manages to check his swing again, as that one drops low for ball 3. Full count here to start the bottom of the 4th. And Hoffman hits one up the middle. That'll be good for a leadoff single. Another runner aboard for Brookline, but they've had no luck driving in their runners so far today. We'll see if Brookline can change that here in the bottom of the fourth. Now batting the designated hitter, number 24, Lincoln Hafner. First pitch going to miss, ball one. Hafner grounded out to third his last time up. Pickoff move. Hoffman dives back safe. That one catches the outside corner, strike one. And that one again hits the zone, strike two. Oh, that one skips in around the feet, and the wild pitch allows Hoffman to get down to second. Either that ball bounced or Hafner managed to hop under it, as that's not a hit-by pitch, that's simply ball two. But now a runner in scoring position for Brookline, as Hafner fouls that one off, stays alive at 2-2. A base hit to the outfield could put Brookline on the board for the first time. Reaches out, hits a dribbler up the third base side, fielded by Kluwer, throws to first. That'll be out number one, but Hafner does advance Hoffman down to third on that ground out. Brookline 90 feet away from the game's first run. And now even a flyout could bring in the go-ahead run, as up comes the right fielder, number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. First pitch going to miss outside, ball one. Fitzgerald drew a walk his last time up. Fouls that one off, strike one. Eli Hoffman, the potential go-ahead run, stands at third, and with that, Boston Latin has pulled in their entire infield onto the infield grass to potentially make a play at home if Fitzgerald hits a grounder, but there he takes strike two. If you're Fitzgerald, you definitely want to at least put this ball in play, as that one to the outside, ball two. Houck focusing on that outside corner against Fitzgerald so far. And Fitzgerald lines one right at the shortstop. They're going to go for home, and they make the play at home. And that right there is the textbook example of why you pull the infield in. Huge defensive play by the Wolfpack for out number two. Big play at short by number 3, Amos Bergen. Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch slices it foul, strike one. Last time up, Hoffman lined out on a comebacker right back to Houck. And now instead of a runner at third and one out, it's runner at first with two outs. That one in the zone for strike two. Reaches out and tips that one. Stays alive at 0-2. Defensive swing there from the co-captain. Hits a bouncer again right back at Houck, and he blocks it and throws to first. And that'll be out number 3. Once again, Brookline threatens but cannot score. We are through 4 here at Warren Field, and we are scoreless. During this break, between the 4th and 5th innings, I'd like to take another chance to thank our sponsor for today, Esch Dental. Do you have a tooth that's been worked on once, twice, 3 times, and it's still giving you problems? Have you been told it's time to give up the fight on that tooth and have it extracted? Hey, it happens to a lot of us. Dr. Esch performs a multitude of procedures to get that infected tooth out and an implant in. All of Dr. Esch's implants are digitally guided, which means the surgery takes place on a digital model of your jaw even before your appointment. Digital implant placement is the safest, fastest, most predictable way to turn that problem tooth into a fixed and beautiful solution. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. All that information in the description section down below. Start at the top of the 5th now, leading off the 3rd baseman, number 6, Kluwer. And now facing a 1-1 count after the first 2 pitches. He was at the plate to end the top of the 4th, but because it ended with a runner caught stealing, he gets to finish his plate appearance here as he takes a low ball 2. That one gonna miss outside, ball 3. This one skied up in the air, and that's going to go out of play for a foul ball. And we got a full count. We've seen Rabiner face down these full counts a number of times. That one fouled off by Kluwer. Looks like it actually might have got stuck in the backstop there. Count remains full. And that one drops in low for ball 4. So for the 2nd inning in a row, Boston Latin gets a leadoff walk. Last inning they weren't able to get anyone home, but we'll see what they're able to do this time. Pickoff throw, close, but Kluwer dives back safe. At the plate, the catcher, number 10, Findlin, shows bunt, pulls back for a high ball 1. Brookline has their 3rd baseman, Hoffman, way up on the grass as that one hit him. It's a hit by pitch by Rabiner. And for the 2nd straight inning, Boston Latin gets 2 batters on to start. And now it's going to be a meeting at the mound with Rabiner, just to try and settle him down after his control got away from him for a couple of batters to start. Before that leadoff walk by Gomez in the 4th inning, Rabiner had not given away any free passes to start this game. No walks, no hit by pitches, none. But then a leadoff walk in the top of the 4th. And now 2 straight free passes to start the 5th. They're going to stick with their starter here. And like I said, I like the decision. You know, just give him a chance to settle down here before approaching the next hitter. Pickoff move to second, but Kluwer again gets back safe. They've got the corner infield. They got the first baseman, Adam Rosenblatt, pulled way in as they expect a bunt, and the bunt is fouled over the backstop for strike one. At the plate is the center fielder, number 7, Cole Hale. Hale got an infield single his last time up, but was picked off between first and second. Now trying to get runners to second and third. And again, he fouls off the bunt, and so the bunt strategy goes out the window. As outside of that great bunt single by Charlie Houck back in the fourth, Boston Latin has had a hard time squaring up against these fast pitches from Rabiner. And Hale reaches out and fouls that one off to stay alive at 0-2. A courtesy runner for the catcher Findlin at first is number 34, Williams. Swing and a miss there, strike 3. Disconnect. But it looks like we're back as that pitch in there for strike 2. King staring down an 0-2 count. That one drops low, well covered by Hom as he almost lost track of that one. It'll simply be ball 1. King, his last time up, went down on strikes back in the third inning. That one just low, ball 2. Rabiner trying to paint the corners that time, but just misses. 2-2 the count to King. Skies this one, going to stay in the infield. And it's caught by Bollinger. Might not have mattered, as with 2 runners on, they probably would have called an infield fly rule. But it was caught either way. 2 down, runners still at first and second. Villar hits a bouncer up the middle, fielded by DePaulo, flipped to second. And Nikolai Rabiner, a specialist at getting out of the jam inning after inning, as he keeps the shutout going through his first 5. Still scoreless as we move to the bottom of the 5th. These have been excellent responses on the mound from Nikolai Rabiner. As each of the last 2 innings, he allowed the first 2 batters to get on and then put down the next 3, well, I should say in the 5th inning, he put down the last 3 batters. In the 4th inning, he put down 2 batters, and then a runner was caught stealing on a wild pitch. So now we will begin Houck's 3rd trip through the Brookline order, as Rabiner started his 3rd trip through the order facing King and Villar. They're in the top half of the inning. Now it's Houck's turn to face the Brookline order for the 3rd time today, as he'll be facing Brendel, Bollinger, and Hom. This game getting tighter and tighter as each inning passes, with more goose eggs on the scoreboard. Leading off for Brookline, the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. First pitch going to miss, low and away, ball 1. Brendel 0 for 2 so far today. He is grounded out and popped out. Hits a hard grounder. As that bounced right past my stuff. Seems like everything is okay. That was little close for my comfort. As that one gonna miss, slowing away ball 2. Listen, I've had to replace one battery pack after getting hit with a baseball. I don't want to have to do that again. As that one does hit the zone for strike 2. 2-2 the count to Brendel, here to lead off the bottom of the 5th. And that one drops in the zone for strike 3. Not a lot of free passes issued today from either pitcher, and that works against the more patient approach that Elias Brendel brings to the plate. If the pitcher's hitting the zone, could be a tough day for him, as that one fouled off the body for strike 1. Bollinger starting to run it out anyway, as we saw that play where it looked like Rosenblatt had fouled it off his body, but it was called in play and Rosenblatt got thrown out at first. Bollinger rips one foul up the left field side for strike 2. Bollinger 2 for 2 so far today with a pair of singles. And he hits one up the middle. Hugh Bollinger 3 for 3 today, and he's hit it through every infield gap. Went through the gap between short and third his first time up. Then went through the opposite gap between second and first his second time up. Now goes through the gap between second and short right up the middle for his third single of the day. Having a nice day at the plate, but someone has still got to bring him in. Now batting the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. Pick off throw at first, and Bollinger gets back safe. Hom, so far today, he is 1 for 2. He's got a single and reached on what should have been a fielder's choice, but was instead an E6 that allowed both runners to reach safely. So Hom has gotten to first every time he's been up so far, as that's another pickoff attempt from Houck. We still haven't seen the first pitch thrown to Hom yet. Hom hits a bouncer over to third, and it's foul. That one outside, ball 1. 1-1, the count to Hom, 1 out, runner at first. Bollinger takes off, but Hom fouls it off. Not a lot of steals for either team either. I mean, it seems like both teams have been aggressive on the base paths, but no stolen bases from either side yet today, as another throw back to first check on Bollinger. Both teams have been very strong defensively on the base paths so far today. Another big lead, and Bollinger dives back as he's trying to stay in Houck's head. And another throw back to first. Houck trying to catch Bollinger off guard like he did in the first inning. And a timeout now called. And Hom fouls that one off. Got chased low, but got a piece of it to stay alive. And you can see Bollinger still dancing back and forth on the bag. Hom hits a grounder foul up the third base line. Count still 1-2 with one out and a runner at first here in the bottom of the fifth of this scoreless ball game. Bollinger takes off. It's a high ball. Bollinger slides in safe. Ball gets into center field, but Bollinger not risking it, as he gets the first successful stolen base of the day for either team and moves himself into scoring position. That one is going to miss, and it got away from the catcher, and Bollinger takes off and slides into third. Bollinger has willed himself all the way from first to third, and Hom lifts one out to right field. That's going to drop in foul territory. The count remains full to Felix Hom, as he's battled back from a 1-2 count. Infield pulled in, and Hom skies one out to right center. Center fielder has got it, and Bollinger tagged late. I don't think he's going to make it. He didn't make it. A huge base running gaffe by the Warriors. And the game remains scoreless through 5. Boy, that was just a goof on the base paths by Brookline. I'm not sure if Bollinger got thrown off thinking that the center fielder had dropped the ball, or if he was like one step off from third or so. I'm not sure what happened, but he just had such a late takeoff towards home on what should have been a textbook sac fly, and instead turns into an 8-2 double play. Or I should say an 8-1-2 double play, as they the pitcher Houck, the cutoff man there. So at the end of 5, we are still scoreless here at Warren Field, as the pitcher's duel continues on. Once again, folks, be sure to go down to the description section of this video to check out some helpful links. A link for our local sponsor, Ash Dental, a link for our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares, and also a link where you can donate to the Brookline High Baseball Booster Club. It'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up for Boston Latin: Gomez, Houck, and Aquija. Leading off is Gomez. Drew a walk his last time up. Slices off the first pitch. First strike 1. That one curves in nicely. Strike 2. And almost got him chasing low, but Gomez checks his swing. 1-2. Goes for the high heat, and Gomez does not bite. 2-2. It's incredible how fast the time is between pitches for Rabiner, unless the batter calls timeout like he did there. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Rabiner opens with another strikeout to start the 6th inning. 8 Ks so far today for Nikolai Rabiner, as up comes the opposing pitcher, number 24, Charlie Houck. Tries a bunt up the third base side again, and Rabiner this time tried to get it and bobbled it. It's a second straight bunt single for Charlie Houck. you see Houck keeps placing it in kind of this no man's land spot between the pitcher and third baseman. And so both guys go after it, and it just kind of throws them off their rhythm, and they end up juggling the ball. First pitch gets past Aquija for strike one. The designated hitter, number 14. Last time up went down on strikes. Throw back to first, and Houck dives back safe. No courtesy runner from Boston Latin for their pitcher today. But given that he's been sent on a bunt, they clearly have faith in his legs. As that one misses low and away, ball one. Aquija 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. We got another throw back to first. That one almost got away, but only rolls a little bit. Rabiner placing these pickoff throws very close to the base runner's body. But so far, Houck getting back safe. Big swing and a miss there from Aquija. He wanted all of that one, and he got none of it. 1-2 the count. Tips that one to the backstop. 1-2 the count. And this one popped up into foul territory, out of play. Aquija, his first time at the plate, put in a long, hard battle with a lot of foul balls. He's fouled off a couple here. And now he hits one into center field for a single. 2 on now for the Wolfpack off the single from Aquija. Now batting the first baseman, number 9, Evans. First pitch going to miss high and in for ball one. That one in the zone for strike one. Brookline's got their corner infielders pulled up somewhat close, but the odds of a sac bunt with 1 out are not high, as that's going to be a high ball two. Evans went down on strikes his last time up. Before that, reached on an E4, 0 for 2 so far today. And he chops that one foul for strike two. Chases the breaking ball low, strike three. Another big strikeout from Rabiner. 2 outs now, and up comes the third baseman, number 6, Kluwer. And he takes strike one. And that one's fouled off for strike two. High heat is held on for ball one. That one just high for ball two. 2-2 the count to Kluwer. Oh, that one gets away and the runners take off. Holm trying to throw him out again, but this time they get there safe. That one was a little dangerous, very close to the head. But it's going to be a wild pitch that puts 2 in scoring position here. Tight spot, full count, 2 outs. Swing and a miss! Strikeout number 10 for Nikolai Rabiner. And for the 3rd inning in a row, he escapes a 2 runners on jam. Three Ks in the top of the 6th for Rabiner as he reaches double digits. And again, Rabiner came into this game with 11 strikeouts through his first 3 pitching appearances of the season. He has almost matched that in this game alone through the first 6 innings. 10 Ks on the day for the Brookline starter. But now he needs his teammates to put something on the board so he can have a lead to work with. What a pitcher's duel this has been between Nikolai Rabiner and Charlie Houck here at Warren Field. You know, I said before the game that last year's game was a nail-biter down to the wire, but that one was a back-and-forth game with a lot of scoring both ways. This one, we're heading towards the end of the game, or the end of regulation, I should say, at least, because we've still got no score. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Brookline: DePaulo, Rosenblatt, and Eli Hoffman. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Charlie Houck staying on the mound, and, I mean, why wouldn't he? Both starters have been absolutely dominant and pretty efficient as well on the mound so far today. Now batting the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DePaulo. First pitch going to miss inside, ball 1. That one misses low and in, ball 2. DePaulo, his last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice. And before that, grounded out to short. So he's grounded to the shortstop both times so far as he chops that one foul for strike 1. That one misses high and in, ball 3. So I think he called it ball 3. Maybe he called it strike 2? DePaulo hits one up the middle, good for a single to start the inning. Brookline gets a runner on again, but they've had trouble getting them home. Now batting the first baseman, number 21, Adam Rosenblatt. Shows bunt, but fouls it for strike 1. So with that, the third baseman, Kluwer, going to be pulled up, well up on the infield grass here. Shows bunt, pulls back as that one misses outside for ball 1. Houck trying to force Rosenblatt into a bad bunt here. See if he can get him to pop up to get a free out with no runner advancing. But he lays it down perfectly in play. Picked up by Houck, thrown to first. Gets Rosenblatt, but he does his job and moves DePaulo to second. One out, the go-ahead run in scoring position here. Up comes the first baseman, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Pickoff throw back to second, and DePaulo dives back safe. Houck keeping his eye on the lead runner. And Hoffman lifts one out to right. Right fielder going back, and he dropped it. He dropped it. DePaulo's going to take off for third as Hoffman heads for second. Oh, he's dancing around the tag, but the tag is applied. Eli Hoffman got too aggressive on the bases. And instead of first and third with one out, it'll be a runner at third. with 2 outs. First pitch there inside, ball 1 at the plate. The designated hitter, number 24, Lincoln Hafner. Brookline's going to need either a wild pitch or a base hit. Big swing and a miss there, strike 1. And another big swing and a miss, strike 2. Oh, that hit him. Lincoln Hafner gets beaned, and that does put runners at the corners with 2 down now. As up comes the right fielder. Or no, I think we got a pinch hitter coming in. Whole infield and the coach in to talk to Charlie Houck, as this is a majorly tight situation. And I think I saw number 25 there, Max Kaufman, coming in to pinch hit. And indeed, this is number 25, Max Kaufman. Can he come through with a huge hit as the pinch hitter? First pitch high and in, ball 1. As you can see, Kaufman has not had a ton of plate appearances so far this season. 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. That one going to catch the low outside corner, strike 1. Jimmy DiPaolo, the potential go-ahead run at third. Lincoln Hafner at first. Kaufman hits a grounder over to short, fielded by Bergen, thrown to first, and they beat him to the bag for out number 3. We go to the 7th and final inning. Still scoreless on Patriots Day. During this break between the 6th and 7th innings, I'd like to once again thank our local sponsor, Esch Dental. Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner doesn't just focus on smile rehabilitation. Their real passion is smile preservation. If you are ready for a local, sophisticated, sole ownership dental office to take care of your 6-month cleaning, no need to look any further than Esch Dental. Go online to eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103 to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103. Or go online to easchdental.com. All that information in the description section down below. And we've got our first pitching change of the day here in the 7th and final inning of regulation. Taking over on the mound for Brookline, number 10, Ben Cody. So Rabiner finishes the day with 6 shutout innings, but a no decision, as he's been caught up in a pitcher's duel here today. Cody, as you can see, he's made 5 previous relief appearances. Coming into today, he was leading the team in innings pitched with 13.1. He's got a 1-0 win-loss record and 1 save coming out of the bullpen, an ERA of 2.10, a whip of 1.73, and 8 strikeouts. So Brookline hoping he can continue to hold off the Wolfpack bats and give them a chance to try and win it in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Findlin, Hale, and King, the 8-9-1 hitters, due up here on the top of the 7th. And for both teams, whether you win or lose today, the positive has got to be the pitching and the defense. And the negative has definitely got to be base running. Because we've seen a lot of base running mistakes from these teams so far today, especially from Brookline. They've had a couple of big chances to make something happen undone by some base running gaffes. Leading off for Boston Latin here in the top of the 7th, catcher number 10, Findlin. Takes strike one there. Chases that one low for strike two. It's going to be a very different pitching style. They're facing Rabiner. You know, a lot of fastballs and cut fastballs. Cody is all breaking balls. As that one drops low for ball one, Findlin didn't want to chase on that one. Hits a bouncer right back to Cody. Flips to first for out number one. So good stab at the grounder by Ben Cody to get the first out. Now batting the center fielder, number 7, Cole Hale. Fouls this one off, strike one. Swing and a miss there, mistimed the off, well, most of the pitches are off speed from Cody, but he mistimed that one, strike two. That one misses outside, ball one. And fouls off the fastball there. Stays alive at 1-2. Hale, his last time up, went down on strikes back in the 5th. Before that, struck out in the 3rd. That one misses. Ball two. And he skies this one in foul territory. Owen Hoffman chasing it, but it's out of play. Oh, my mistake. Hale didn't strike out in the 3rd. King struck out in the 3rd. Hale got an infield single. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Ben Cody puts down the first two batters he faces. And now back to the top of the order with the left fielder, number 5, King. That one gonna miss high and away, ball one. That one gonna miss low, ball two. King's got a smaller strike zone, and Cody's got to be careful as pitches move to the right spot. That one fouled to the backstop, strike one. Swing and a miss there, strike two. King Last time up, popped out to second. Before that, struck out. Before that, had that weird double into out thing. So that one's going to miss high and away. And we got a full count here with the bases empty and 2 down here on the top of the 7th. And he reaches out and sends it right to Bollinger at second for out number 3. Ben Cody does his job in the top half, but can the Brookline offense finally take care of business in the bottom half? If Brookline does not score here in the bottom of the 7th, then we will go to extra innings. And number 15, Saldana, gonna take over on the mound for Hauk as both teams sub out their starters after 6 shutout innings of work. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 7th, the third baseman and co-captain number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch from Saldana misses outside, ball 1. Hoffman, of course, was the hero in that walk-off win over Wellesley with the walk-off RBI hit. Could he get on the bases and potentially represent the winning run here in the bottom of the 7th? Takes strike 1 on that last pitch. That one misses wild, ball 2. Hoffman 0 for 2 so far today. He has lined out to the pitcher and grounded out to the pitcher. Now facing a 2-1 count. That one's going to miss, ball 3. We got some wind blowing towards home plate here in the bottom of the 7th. And Saldana takes a step off the mound to reset. Now Hoffman calls timeout to potentially throw Saldana back off his rhythm. And that one catches the corner, strike 2. A full count to Hoffman to start the bottom of the 7th. And it skips in the dirt, ball 4. The winning run is on the bases for Brookline here in the bottom of the 7th. Now batting the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel, as the first pitch skips past the catcher. And the winning run is now in scoring position for Brookline. Hoffman down to second. And now they're probably going to let Elias Brendel here swing away to try and drive him in. A base hit to the outfield could end this ball game. Pickoff throw back to second, and Hoffman dives back safe. And a timeout called by the catcher, Findlin. We've seen Brookline get one walk-off win already this season against Wellesley. Can they get one here against Boston Latin? The center fielder and co-captain Elias Brendel at the plate, trying to drive in his fellow co-captain Owen Hoffman, who represents the winning run at second. Shows bunt, pulls back, and that's going to be ball two. Seems like Brookline is trying to get Hoffman as close to home plate as possible, as they still have Brendel showing bunt. But it's a 2. Is it a 2-0 or a 2-1 count? Might have missed a pitch there. Shows bunt, pops it up. Findlin can't catch it. Not sure if that's 2-1 or 2-2. Couldn't quite see the officials. Yeah, looks like 2-2 actually. I think I missed a pitch there. Brendel launches this one deep out to right, going back. Right fielder's got it. Hoffman tags, races down to third, and dives in safe. Brendel flies out to right, but he gets Hoffman just 90 feet away from scoring the game-winning run. Now batting, the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. He had a walk-off in his high school debut last season against Framingham. Could he have his second career walk-off hit here? No, he won't. They're going to issue him the free pass. An intentional walk. Are they trying to put a double play on the table here? But they've still got the infield pulled in for the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. Bollinger takes off for second as the first pitch to Hom misses outside, ball 1. Bollinger going to take second on the defensive indifference. And Hom lifts one out to right. Caught by the right fielder. Hoffman tags, heads for the plate, slides in. Brookline wins! Felix Hom with the walk-off sac fly to right. And the Warriors get it done on Patriots Day. And boy, could there be a more fitting game on Marathon Monday than this, as this was absolutely a defensive marathon. A Class A pitcher's duel between Brookline and Boston Latin. The final score, the Brookline High Warriors 1, the Boston Latin School Wolfpack 0. Ben Cody gets the win on the mound today after one shutout inning of relief. And Nikolai Rabiner with, well, about the best no decision outing I think you're ever going to see. 6 shutout innings and 10 strikeouts for the Brookline starter. Brookline improves to 5-4 on the season, while the Wolfpack falls to 2-6. And Felix Hamm gets it done with the walk-off sac fly to right. Owen Hoffman, who had the walk-off single to left against Wellesley, scores the game-winning run this time. What a thrilling game. Hats off to both teams for some great defensive performances. Like I said, certainly some work to do for Brookline in terms of their base running. Although they finally got it together with two back-to-back sac flies to right that moved Hoffman from second to third and then third to home. As the co-captain showed some good base running fundamentals on those plays. We saw how, messing up the timing on potential sac flies could cost you earlier in the game. But hats off to Boston Latin for a strong defensive outing of their own. They threw out Brookline runners at home twice in this game to keep this one going. But ultimately, Brookline able to get the job done. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. I'll be back on stream on Thursday at 4 p.m. as Brookline will be going on the road to St. Peter's Field in Cambridge to take on the Falcons of the Cambridge Ringe and Latin School. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. And thank you, of course, to our sponsor, Esch Dental. The team at Esch Dental understands dental anxiety. Some patients just need a friendly face to put them at ease. Others need the help of additional gases or medications to put them at ease. Dr. Esch and his team can help you wherever you are on the journey to find a solution to manage anxiety. Call or book online, eschdental.com or 617-566-0103. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. All that information in the description section down below. You can also find a link where you can donate to the Brookline High Baseball Booster Club. And you can also find links for our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. And you can also find some links related to me that you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Final score, Brookline 1, Boston Latin 0. Felix Hamm, the walk-off sac fly to right to drive in Owen Hoffman with the game-winning run from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Patriots Day.